Good evening, Los Santos. Dan Dorfman here with another Dorfman Files from WVT-TV News. The news you need to hear when you need to hear it. I happen to be standing here with an interesting character on my right. This is Mr. Tornado. Now, Tornado has blown into Los Santos with some specific goals and objectives to accomplish. And Tornado, I wanted you to give an opportunity to tell us a little bit about your story. Why have you come here to Los Santos?
Well, you see, Dan, I come from a troubled neighborhood, you know what I mean? And crime was always something that was around, and, you know, growing up in that type of environment really affected the way that I grew up, you know? And, you know, I can't stand to see, you know, kids oppressed by crime and people would be hurt and, you know, left underneath it. So I've decided to make a change by, you know, by myself, whether it be alongside the law or not, to do my best by the citizens and make sure that the city is safe.
All right, now, aren't you the least bit concerned for your own safety? I mean, the streets out here in Los Santos can be quite tough. And, you know, there's no secret that there's some pretty hard, tough as nails guys running around. And, you know, the police normally encourage citizens to just let them do their job. I wonder, you know, what do you think about that? How do you feel about putting your life in danger?
Well, Dan, you know, obviously it's something I think about, but at the end of the day, I've got to do what's right. You know, I'm equipped with a ballistic vest. It's, you know, it's 9mm tested. It probably won't stop assault rifles, but I've also been training a lot in hand-to-hand combat. And I believe, you know, I'm able to take on, you know, a lot of threats in the city. Obviously, you know, I'm just one man, but I do what I can. And yeah, you know, it's a little scary out here, and I understand the cops just need their leeway to do their job, but sometimes they don't do their job or they don't do it correctly, and I'm here to fill that gap.
But you do understand that as a private citizen without any kind of authority, you know, as a hurricane, you really risk, you know, being arrested and taken up there to Bolingbrook, and you're going to be, you know, you could spend some time potentially with, you know, some of the same people that you help bring to justice.
Well, that's one of the primary things with identity, you know, concealing it, is that, you know, if something like that were to happen, I take precautions to make sure that the people in jail wouldn't understand who I was. Obviously, if I ran into issues like that and I you know, I did cross the law, but, you know, I felt what I did was justified, then, yeah, maybe I might have to lay low. You know, it's basically an unfortunate effect of trying to help the citizens, and, you know, I'm willing to take that.
All right, and how did you come up with the name Tornado? You know, what's so significant about a tornado? Is it the wind? Is it the hail? You know, is it the path of destruction that it leaves as it goes wisping by, you know, harming some things on one side of the street but not on the other?
I think you really hit the nail on the head right there, Dan, is that the tornado's unpredictable, you know what I mean? You know, you get a warning, you get some alarm, so you don't know what's happening, and, you know, I can be destructive to those in my path, but, you know, as long as you steer clear of it, then you should be A-okay. So I think you really hit it there.
Now, what category of a hurricane would you be, you know, as you blow in here to Los Santos? Purposely screwing it up.
I'd be a Category 5 hurricane. I'd be moving at fast rates of speed and extremely deadly.
All right. Well, now, let me ask you this. So you know, you come in here and you're looking to stomp out evil and everything, but what would you say to people who, you know, who would look upon your actions, you know, where you're taking the law into your own hands and you're, you know, you're kind of out there, like you said, you know, with whatever you have, you know, to deal with these people. I mean, aren't you the least bit concerned that you could become or be perceived of the very thing that you're trying to stomp out?
Well, you know, ignorance is bliss, and, you know, if something like that were to happen, you know, I guess I'd have to understand it. I'm trying to do what's right by my community, and if someone saw it the same way and they were trying to do right by their community or thought that I was harming it, then so be it. You're entitled to your opinion, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to do what's right. I'm going to be listening to the community and trying to do what's best for them.
So, who determines what's best?
The general public. I'm it's a little hard for me to get word right now. I'm typically jumping call, but I tend to check on the social medias, and I do check some of the hashtags and stuff on Twitter. So obviously when it comes down to it, I hate to say it, but what I see is what I see, and that's how it is. If people think they need assistance, and that's how they reach out, or they think I'm doing something wrong, that's how I'll see it.
Well, Mr. Tornado, there's a lot of different ways to help the citizens of Los Santos. You've got the police kind of have their role and their job to take care of things, and you have other things, other groups that are in the community out there trying to make a difference, like the people from the Hungry of Los Santos food missions that are out trying to open up a new branch up there in Sandy Shores. What about getting involved in one of those rather than put your body on the line and risk potential incarceration for being a vigilante?
I encourage the community to get involved in those programs, but at the end of the day, I think what I'm doing is not only assisting others but helping a lot more people. For instance, maybe I help someone out on that on the street, and they understand where they came from and their hardships. Maybe they can get involved in those certain communities and those certain things. You know what I mean? So. Not, I'm kind of expanding on that. I'm trying to get people involved. I'm trying to get people to help, but everyone has their own.
I see. And so, when do you have like some sort of tagline or a special phrase or something that you say, when you get involved in a situation?
Get winded. You know what I mean? When I really show some justice, and if things have to get physical, and tornado comes out on top, that's my tagline, is get winded.
All right, get winded. All right, you heard it here first, Los Santos. Get winded. The tornado has is it tornado or hurricane? The tornado. The tornado has blown into Los Santos and is out and about now. Mr. Tornado, one last question: have you contacted or been working with the LSPD at all? Have you spoken with Chief Mason regarding your activities?
That's not specifically with Chief Mason. I've spoken with the assistant chief, and he told me that by wearing a mask, they can detain me anytime and search me, but I have nothing to hide. They told me that being a vigilante is frowned upon, but at the end of the day, I'm no vigilante. I'm no hero. I'm just trying to make a difference.
But wouldn't you? But when you argue that you should do violence and everything, aren't you in fact putting yourself in the shoes of a vigilante? I mean, a vigilante is one that takes the law in their own hands. It's one thing if you observe and call the police. It's another thing if you take direct action. I mean, what do you say to that?
Well, I have worked in specific cases with some officers and giving information and stuff like that. Some things that I observed, I passed off information personally to Deputy Mack and some others. So, I do my part with LSPD, and I do try to collaborate, but there's some things that are out of the hands of theirs. And, that's where I am willing to, I guess, take the law into my own hands. I guess you could call me a vigilante.
All right. Well, there you have it. I mean, what faces what is going to happen if you start using force and everything. And we certainly wish you well. We don't want to see you get harmed. You seem like a nice guy, Mr. Tornado, and we don't want to see you out there on the streets getting harmed. So we're going to go back to you, Stephanie, out here. We're in front of the Los Santos Police Department here in and just wanted to do a little interview here with the tornado, and just let you know the tornado is now blowing Los Santos free of evil. And we're going to go back to you, Stephanie, in the studio. This is Dan Dorfman with WVT-TV News. Back to you, Stephanie. All right, cut. What do you